I was working for a large company in the finance field whose idea of taking good care of its employees was to let us know on December the 28th that they were ending operations in our state effective immediately. So I went from betting on the size of our annual bonus with my coworkers to packing up my office in the blink of an eye. This led to my decision that I needed a job where I was in control and knew what was going on. I'd studied finance at a respected business school, and both my father and my brother ran small businesses. One of my best friends was running a print shop a few blocks down the street from where I would land. Like many guys that grew up in the 60s and 70s, I was a hopeless car nut. And with an older brother, I began working on cars in my early teens. I grew up in a time where you did it yourself and you learn by doing. There was basically nothing I wasn't exposed to, from common repairs, drag racing, mild customization, some restoration work, painting, and more. So after looking at a couple of different automotive franchises, I decided to purchase an existing transmission franchise. I figured that being in a specialized area of repair, that would provide some protection from your common repair shops. In fact, the franchise I purchased didn't do anything beyond transmission work at that time. It had been in continuous operation at that location for approximately 35 years. This franchise had an absentee owner who actually worked as a customer service manager at an out-of-state franchise of the same brand. There was almost twice the number of employees as the volume of business would require, and the shop itself was a greasy disaster. The floors were layers of oil and cat litter, pounded into some kind of a tarry mess. You couldn't walk between the bays because there were racks stacked with obsolete transmissions in the way. The lifts were ancient in-ground lifts that leaked so badly that you had to put stands under the cars so that they wouldn't sink back down as you worked on them. There was a large fenced-in lot out back that held 50, 60 cars. These were everything from cars that had been repaired and never paid for to cars that were never repaired and just left to rot. What they really were was a magnet for thieves and vandals, and we were constantly having a problem in the back lot with the same thing. The 1960s wooden paneled office was so small you could touch both sides of the customer waiting area at the same time. The customer service manager was an old rough-looking grump who would frequently fall asleep. There was even a greasy German Shepherd guard dog who was about as mean as a dead cat named Harley. And he slept in the office during the day, requiring customers to step over him. The employees were allowed to use the shop to do side work after hours. In fact, the shop was busier Saturday after closing than it was during business hours. Some employees would actually approach customers in the parking lot and offer to fix their cars for less than they've been quoted in the office, even pointing out that it would be done by the same people in the same shop, but for less. It was located in a less than desirable part of town, but I saw this as a potential asset. I figured that these customers would be more likely to repair their cars than to replace them. Everywhere you looked, there was room for dramatic improvement. And I felt like if I could fix half the problems, I'd be okay. I mean, how hard could it be? Fix cars, collect money. Little did I know how much I had to learn and how willing everybody would be to teach me a lesson. So I bought the franchise with visions of efficiency and profitability dancing in my head. Immediately, the problems began.